Yo, what's up, people? Welcome back. This is another ORAS OU Wi-Fi battle that I decided to bring. I'm using the same team as last time. This time it's like I wish I had a pranks my Encore Cottony, but why not say Cottony? Is it Cottony? My Whimsicott, but I did have a great battle. He's another YouTuber. I'm definitely leaving the description I'm leaving the link in the description, and we're gonna go ahead and get right into this. I just did not do great, but he was just totally a step above me in this game. He leads off with his Talonflame. I wanted him to lead off with everybody but the Talonflame, and I immediately knew if you're going to bring it out on a B-drill when you know I'm going to protect, you must be going for Swords Dance. So I'm actually going to go out in my Milotic knowing I could take a ×2 effective ×2 Brave Bird and Flare Blitz. So I wanted to go ahead and get this out of the way. This thing is a problem. So I wanted to go straight for a Scald, and he's actually going to go out into Ferrothorn, but I actually knew he was going to switch out, so I went straight for a Dragon Tail to just shuffle his team around. I completely forgot about the Ferrothorn. It's like I need to take a picture, because I forgot all of his team as soon as he sent out the first Pokemon. As I do shuffle him around, and he goes out into his Slowbro, which is something I didn't want to see. I kind of wanted the Talonflame to come right back out. I don't know what I can do against this thing. As he does withdraw this, he probably doesn't want to get burned, and he know he can't set up against me because I do have Dragon Tail. As I do go for Scald, I wanted to get a burn on Slowbro, because Slowbros, they are so bad to deal with. And I have 5 physical attackers on this team. I need to change this team around. I just don't have that many Pokemon right now. And he's just over there getting his leftovers, which is another, it's like last time I faced the leftover Skarmory. I need to get a Trapper, but I did go for another Scald just so I can get a burn. And I do get the burn, and that's just like great, because like I said, I have 5 physical attackers on my team, and the only special attacker I have is this Milotic, which really can't do anything to this thing. So I just went straight for a Scald, knowing he'll probably go for a Leech Seed, and he does miss the Leech Seed. Knowing he's going to go for another Leech Seed or a Stealth Rock, I'm going to switch out into my Whimsicott. And I completely forgot that I did not have Encore on this thing, because if I had Encore, I can Encore it, and that wouldn't be a problem. I know he was going to switch out. I could switch out knowing he'll probably switch into Talonflame or something like that. And it just didn't work out. I can't do anything to this Pokemon, and he can do some damage to me. I don't really want my Whimsicott taking too much damage, and it's useless to actually go for a Tailwind. If I'm going to go out in the Tyrantrum, I know Tyrantrum is the only thing that can deal with this Ferrothorn with Fire Fang. As he does switch out, I was kind of hoping he would go for Gyro Ball, because I can live a Gyro Ball kind of badly, as he actually goes out into something else that my Tyrantrum can handle very well. I know I can set up a Dragon Dance on it, because these things like to carry HP, Ice, Thunderbolt, and all that. As he switches out into his Thread himself, the freaking Mega Slowbro. I know it was a Mega Slowbro because I didn't see any leftovers or anything. Well, did he switch out? I'm not sure, but I knew it was a Mega Slowbro. So he goes for the Mega. I know I can go for a Thunderbolt. I want to get as much damage as I can. I went for the Thunder Fang, and that does so much damage to this thing, but it doesn't take it out, and I figure out this thing is offensive. As he goes for the Scald, and he just destroys my Tyrantrum. My Tyrantrum is just paper right here. Even though he's blue, he can't take the water. That was a horrible joke. That was a very horrible joke. As I decide I can go out into my B-Drill, I know I can Mega Evolve, go for a U-turn, and just get some really good damage on anything that decides want to come in. As I probably should have gone for Drill Run, knowing this thing would come in, but I wasn't thinking. I just wanted to get Slowbro out of my face. But he goes out into this thing, and he does take some damage from the and I know from the Iron Barbs, and I know he's going to take Stealth Rock damage. That's unfortunate. And I decide, who do I go out into? I kind of forgot who I went out into. Oh, I go into my Weavile. I knew that my Weavile wasn't too important, because it couldn't really handle much on his team, so I decided I want him to take some damage. As nobody else really could take this thing on. I could go out into my Excadrill and go for an Earthquake, but he has so many flying types and I don't want to reveal the Scarf just yet. So I'm going to knock this thing off and kill it. And I was actually hoping he'd go for going to Slowbro, thinking that he could take it, but that's a dumb play. Nobody would go into Slowbro. As he does go out into his Talonflame, I wanted him to predict a switch or something, go for a Swords Dance, but he goes straight for a Brave Bird and knocks out my Weavile. Weavile can't take any type of Brave Bird. And I probably should have gone for an Ice Shard just to get some chip damage on this thing, but it really doesn't matter, as you'll see. But I'm going to go out in my Excadrill now, making them actually fear the Rock Slide. I know definitely he doesn't want this thing to go down, because it is a win condition on his side of the field. And I know he was going to switch out, so I actually go for a Rapid Spin. And this is where it gets bad. I'm like, this is a Slowbro. A lot of my Pokemon can take it out this slow. So he has to go for the Slack Off. And I know I can take this thing out. So I go into my Whimsicott, thinking that I can pretty much take anything this thing is trying to offer. And he goes for a Side Shock. I should have took the hint right here, knowing that figuring out he doesn't have Slack Off. I'm not sure if he has Slack Off or not. And you will realize why I don't know. But he hits me hard with a Side Shock. Nothing can stop this thing. As now I decide I'm just gonna go for a I'm gonna go for a Moonblast just to get some chip damage on this thing. I think I could take it out because these things are more offensive and has more defense. But Whimsicott probably couldn't because it's not offensive itself. It has speed and HP investment. As he goes on his Zapdos, I really decide to just sack off my Whimsicott. It doesn't have Encore, and I don't really see much use for this thing. If it had Encore, it would have been great. I could have Encored this thing in a Thunderbolt and actually Leech Seeded or switched out into my Excadrill, actually. So after this battle, I'm actually going to go straight for an Encore Whimsicott. Gotta check my phone. But I'm actually going straight for an Encore Whimsicott. It helps so much. And I'm deciding I want the most damage on this thing, but he actually goes for the Roost, and this is bad. And at this point in time, I thought, what is he going to do? I didn't think he had Heat Wave because he went for Thunderbolt. Then he went for Roost and all that. So I was hoping that I could live something horribly and get this Leech Seed off, go for Moonblast. As I do get the Leech Seed off, and it really doesn't matter. As he goes for a Heat Wave. And pretty much destroys my Whimsicott. My Whimsicott could not take that. And I'm like, I'm so many Pokemon down and he has his full team. I need to start making plays. I need to get up there. So I'm actually going to go out into my freaking Milotic. I'm making all the wrong shits. I need to get rid of Dragon Tail and replace it with Miracle. But it didn't really matter because he switched straight out, probably thinking I had Miracle. As I do go for an Ice Beam. And it knocks him it doesn't knock him too low. I know I can't take him out. So now I go into my Beedrill thinking he has to go for Slack Off now. He is too low. But he goes for Side Shock and knocks out my Beedrill. I needed my Beedrill to make a comeback. It's an Adamant Beedrill, by the way, because it could do so much damage, an Adamant Beedrill. It outspeeds a lot of things, and I decided to run Adamant. So now I'm in a tough position. I don't know what I can do. I go into my Excadrill. I know I have to go for Rock Slide because he has so many flying types. But I can't go for Earthquake. I can't go for Iron Head. So I go for Rock Slide. And I need to start, like I said, I need to start making plays. I need to get out there. I'm down to 2 Pokemon. So he goes out into his Bisharp. I know he's going to go for a knockoff. He has to go for a knockoff. I'm choiced into Rock Slide, so I can't help but go into my Loaded. As he goes for knockoff, knocks off my leftovers, does a crap ton of damage, but it only does half. And I know a knockoff nor won't kill me low punch, so he has to go for Sucker Punch. And I go for a Recover just to get as much damage as get as much HP back as I can. At this point, I'm just thinking, what would he do? What would he do? I'm thinking that he would switch out. So I think I made the double here. Yeah, I actually switched out knowing that he would switch out because he can't really do much. So I switch out in my X-Drill actually. Now I decide what is he going to do? He knows I'm Scarf, so he's going to switch out into his Zapdos, which I knew was coming. I knew this Zapdos was coming out. I knew a bird Pokemon was going to come out. I'm not going to save Zapdos, as he does take it very, very well. If I would have had some Moonblast, I could 2-hit KO this thing, and it'd just be less trouble. As it really doesn't matter, as you'll see. I go for the Rock Slide, pretty much second this thing off. I can't switch my Milotic in here. I need my Milotic, as he actually gets flinched. And I'm just so thankful. I'm just praying like, thank you. And so I can take this thing out with a Rock Slide, but I knew he was going to switch out. So I switched out into my Milotic, knowing he'd switch out, trying to preserve his Zapdos. And so he does switch out, and he goes into his Bisharp. And this Bisharp is not looking as threatening. I know he can't switch out from a Scald, so I'm just going to go straight for a Scald. As he goes for Low Kick, probably thinking I would switch out, guessing for a Sucker Punch. It doesn't really matter if he went for a Sucker Punch, as I go for a Scald now. And he gets burned. And right now I'm like, I need to recover. If I get off this recover, I can possibly win. As he goes for an Iron Head, he knew what he was doing. He got the Iron Head, and he flinches me. It's unfortunate. It's like we're exchanging hacks. I flinch him here, I burn him here. He flinched me when I needed it most. And if I would have got a recover, I could have possibly done something, as I know I can survive versus a Greninja's attack and go for a recover. As he goes for a Dark Pulse, I know I can survive a Dark Pulse, get a recover, and possibly wall this thing. But he gets a critical hit, and I'm like, okay, I survived. I just survived, and he flinches me. He flinches me, unfortunately, and that completely sucks. And it's just, I'm down to one Pokemon, and I go out into my my X-Drill, and I'm like, there's only one way I can win this. If I go for the Rock Slide and I flinch him, if I flinch him, then I know I can win. I can knock out Talonflame. It can go for Brave Bird. It can't kill me. I'm pretty sure a Brave Bird can't kill me because it's resisted. But no, he breaks through, goes for the Ice Beam. He probably didn't want to risk. He probably has Hydro Pump. Didn't want to risk a miss, and he didn't choke it away. So I go for Rock Slide. I knock out this Greninja, and I know he can just go into Talonflame. I don't know why. I was just not losing hope. I'm thinking, if only I can live a Brave Bird, then I can win. So he goes for Brave Bird, and of course it's going to destroy my X-Drill's life. It's just low. It's already so low, it can't survive a Brave Bird, and that is a good game. I will leave his channel link in the description. He's a great battler, and I really need to get these moves on my Pokemon. Magic Coat, Mirror Coat, and Encore, and that's just, and I need more Pokemon. So thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe and hit the like button, and don't forget to head over to his channel and subscribe and like him. So thanks for watching.